Dash dash dash. Welcome back to Mystic Secrets, where we dive into life-changing stories that reveal the hidden truths about people and the powerful lessons that come with them. If you enjoy stories that challenge arrogance, expose hypocrisy, and celebrate kindness and justice, make sure to subscribe and join our community. Tonight's story is going to make your heart race and your mind reflect, because it's about how a cruel insult in a glamorous setting backfired in the most dramatic way possible. It begins at a grand charity auction. The ballroom glittered with chandeliers, diamonds, and designer gowns. It was the kind of place where money spoke louder than words, and where reputations were built or destroyed in a single evening. The event was filled with millionaires, socialites, business moguls, and a handful of people trying to climb into that exclusive world. The purpose was charity, but everyone knew the truth. It was as much about showing off wealth and power as it was about raising money. Among the crowd was a woman named Alicia. She was the younger sister of a wealthy millionaire who owned a chain of luxury hotels. Alicia had grown up in privilege, shielded from the struggles of ordinary life, and she carried herself with an arrogance that could fill an entire room. She loved these events, not because she cared about the cause, but because they gave her the chance to be seen, admired, and feared. She always found someone to look down upon, someone she could humiliate just to remind herself of her status. That night, her sharp eyes landed on a black woman standing near the back of the room. The woman was elegant, wearing a simple but classy dress, her posture calm and graceful, her beauty undeniable. Yet she wasn't surrounded by a crowd, nor was she flaunting jewelry or trying to catch attention. She simply stood there, observing the room with quiet confidence. And for Alicia, that was enough reason to sneer. Alicia leaned to her friend and whispered loudly enough for people nearby to hear. "Look at her. Who even let her in? She looks like she doesn't belong here at all. Probably someone's maid who wandered in by mistake." The people around Alicia chuckled nervously, afraid to contradict her. But the black woman heard every word. Her expression didn't falter, though. Instead, she gave Alicia a polite smile, as if her insult had no weight. That only fueled Alicia's cruelty. She strutted across the ballroom floor, her heels clicking like thunder against marble, and confronted the woman directly. "You must be lost," Alicia said in a mocking tone. "This isn't exactly the kind of place for people like you. Maybe the catering staff entrance is down the hall. I'm sure they need help serving champagne." Gasps spread across the small circle of onlookers. The words were sharp, racist, and dripping with entitlement. But the black woman, calm as ever, simply replied, "I'm exactly where I need to be." That confidence rattled Alicia. She expected tears, embarrassment, or at least some kind of retreat. But instead, the woman just turned her gaze back toward the auction stage as if Alicia wasn't worth her time. Before Alicia could say more, the auctioneer announced the next item up for bidding, a rare, priceless painting from a European master. The starting bid was $200,000. A hush fell over the room as paddles began to rise. Alicia, eager to show off her wealth, raised hers high with a smug grin. $200,000. Immediately, another voice countered, $250. Alicia whipped her head around to see who dared to outbid her. To her shock, it was the very same black woman she had just insulted. Calm, steady, unflinching, she held her paddle in the air. The crowd stirred with excitement. Alicia's face flushed red. She couldn't back down now, not after humiliating this woman publicly. $300, she snapped. The auctioneer called it out. $300,000, going once. $400, the woman said smoothly, without hesitation. A murmur swept through the room. Who was this woman? She didn't flinch at the rising numbers. She wasn't bluffing. She had the confidence of someone who could drop millions without blinking. Alicia's pulse quickened. She looked around, trying to read the crowd, wondering if she was being played. But her pride wouldn't let her stop. $500,000, she shouted, her voice straining. The woman raised her paddle again, her voice calm as ever. $1 million. Gasps echoed like a wave. Alicia froze. $1 million. On one painting. Even her brother, the millionaire hotel owner, would hesitate at that kind of price. Her hands trembled, her throat tightened, and she lowered her paddle in defeat. The auctioneer slammed the gavel. Sold. To the lady in the back for $1 million. The black woman gave a serene smile, as if nothing unusual had happened. The spotlight briefly shifted to her, and whispers buzzed through the ballroom. Alicia felt humiliated, her earlier insult now glaringly pathetic. Unable to let it go, Alicia stormed over again. Who do you think you are? Do you even have the money for that? They're not going to take IOUs from the help. The woman finally turned to her, her eyes steady. Don't worry about me, worry about yourself. Just then, the host of the evening, a powerful businessman, took the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce and thank one of our most generous benefactors tonight. She's not only the winner of this incredible piece of art, but she's also been a silent donor to many causes for years. Please welcome Mrs. Naomi Carter, wife of Billionaire CEO David Carter. The room erupted in applause. Cameras flashed. The black woman, Naomi, stepped forward with elegance. And in that moment, Alicia's face drained of all color. Her knees nearly buckled. She had just insulted the wife of one of the most powerful and wealthy men in the entire country. The whispers turned into open stares. Everyone in the room knew Alicia's arrogance had backfired in the most spectacular way. Naomi, instead of gloating, simply took the stage and delivered a brief speech about charity, kindness, and the importance of seeing beyond appearances. Her words were gracious but sharp enough to feel like a direct lesson aimed at Alicia. True wealth, Naomi said, is not measured by what we wear, or how loudly we flaunt our status. It's measured by the respect we give, the dignity we uphold, and the compassion we show to others. The applause was thunderous. Alicia stood in the corner, trembling with humiliation, praying for the night to end. Later, as Naomi left the event, escorted by her billionaire husband who finally appeared, Alicia caught one last glimpse of them. David Carter was tall, commanding, and surrounded by security. He placed his arm lovingly around Naomi, treating her with the kind of respect Alicia had never even seen in her own world. It was clear she wasn't just his wife, she was his equal, his partner, his queen. From that day forward, Alicia's name became a whispered cautionary tale in high society circles. People remembered her cruelty, her arrogance, and most of all, the moment she tried to belittle a woman who had more grace, power, and wealth than she could ever dream of. And as for Naomi, she continued her life unchanged, her dignity intact, her confidence unshaken. She knew who she was, with or without the recognition. And she had shown the entire room that night a lesson no one would forget. Never judge, never assume, and never underestimate the quiet strength of a woman who carries herself with true worth. This story is more than just about a cruel insult backfiring. It's about the importance of humility, the danger of arrogance, and the power of quiet strength. It reminds us all that no matter how wealthy or privileged someone may think they are, true greatness lies in respect, compassion, and character. Thank you for watching Mystic Secrets. If this story touched you, inspired you, or even gave you chills, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more incredible stories that reveal the truth about human nature. Until next time, stay humble, stay kind, and never forget, the world is full of hidden secrets waiting to be discovered.